Damn, I thought I was dreaming last night. I turned on the Bengals Browns on the NFL Network. I didn't know Geno Smith had been traded to Cincinnati. I mean, because Andy Dalton last night did his best Geno Smith imitation. What a horrendous game. You knew it was going to be bad when his first pass was incomplete and his second pass was intercepted. Finishes the game 10 for 33 with 3 interceptions. And my question to you is, how did he manage to complete those 10 passes that night that went to his own receivers? Just an awful, awful game by Dalton, a horrific performance by the Bengals. Hey, listen, it was a lousy game unless you happen to be a Browns backer financially, and that's all I got to say about that one. But, you look at the Bengals, and the Bengals are another one of those teams that invest a relatively high draft pick on a quarterback to lead the franchise, and the quarterback was not a superstar in college. And the NFL and its members have no one to blame but themselves because the league has changed. Remember in the old days, which let's go back, 15, even 20 years, where you drafted a quarterback, he sat for a few years, he eventually got reps, and then eventually he hopefully matured into a starting quarterback. Now, of course, it's a win now mode for general managers. They're not afforded the time, and it has a lot to do with salary cap, free agent movements, etc. It's hard to have a dynasty when you can't keep your players together for one reason or another, so you've got to always be looking to win now. And the position that's most emphasized is quarterback. So year after year in the draft, you will see these quarterbacks who, again, were not superstars, were not seniors that played through their entire career and had extensive experience in college, being drafted so high based on their projected value, how they will probably mature. And year after year, you see these guys flopping. I mean, you go back to the 2011 draft, which Dalton was a member of. Look at the quarterbacks taken first before him, okay? Cam Newton, the number 1 pick that year. And listen, Newton has certainly had his moments. Personally, I think the jury's still out if he's going to be the guy forever for the Panthers and will ever get it done. But then you look at some of the bombs. I mean, Jake Locker, the number 8 pick in the draft by Tennessee. Blaine Gabbert, the number 10 pick in the draft that year by Jacksonville. Christian Ponder, number 12 by the Vikings. Dalton's taken with the 35th overall pick that year. Colin Kaepernick, who, I am not a fan of, he goes and he's the 35th pick, right, or the 36th pick right behind him. You got Ryan Mallett, who's going to be starting for the Texans this week. He was drafted 74th by the Patriots. And then a bunch of guys who, Ricky Stanzi, TJ Yates, Nathan Enderle. Nathan Enderle? I don't know. Tyrod Taylor. How did Tyrod Taylor get drafted? Remember, he used to play at Virginia Tech? I don't get it. Greg McElroy, who actually managed to play some for the Jets, and that was your quarterback draft for 2011. But again, these quarterbacks in college, they see how the NFL has changed as well, and you can't blame them. If they have a good season, they can always forego their last year or so of eligibility, make themselves eligible for the draft, and if they're coming off a good season, the draftsters will be immediately in there. And listen, if you're a general manager and you've got a 3 or 4 year window after you're hired to do something or else you're on the unemployment line, you got to take shots. But you leave your franchise in tatters often because what happens? The Jets, you got Geno Smith. The Bengals, you got Andy Dalton, who is a failure in the postseason, and you saw basically what Andy Dalton is last night. There are moments of brilliance, and there are moments that, again, he resembles Geno Smith. You have a Vikings team that had to go out, and after blowing it with Ponder, had to go out and spend the first rounder and get Teddy Bridgewater and hope that he is the next savior for your franchise. You've got a Tennessee team where, hey, Jake Locker's washed out, so what the hell are you going to do? Oh, you're going to give it the job now to Zach Mettenberger. Yeah, that's a direction you want to really point that franchise in. And again, it's the status of the NFL. Listen, no NFL games tonight, thank God. After that one, that'll put back the league in at least a couple of years in terms of you wanting to watch it and the popularity. Instead, though, we've got college football, a couple of games here tonight. Scott Delaney, biggest college play of the season once more, another 100-dime play on Memphis and Temple. He is 68, 41, and won the past 3 years with all 100-dime releases in all sports, including Northern Illinois in that road route of Ball State last night. You can save $70 and get his latest winner by using coupon code 100DIMES. That's 100DIMES, all put together, 100 dimes. FYI, with 50 dime plays or higher over the past few years in all sports, 50 dime plays or higher, like tonight's. $10 bettors have won over $37,000 following Scott's betting advice. Little heads up for you, though, however. Jeff Benton, who has won 13 of the past 17 days, and I think he had the Browns last night. He's on the opposite side of this game with his 50-dimer number 11 out of 15. Gabriel DuPont, props going out to him. Last night he had a 50-dime winner on the Houston Rockets. You got that play for $19, saving $80 off the regular price. Tonight he has the 777 triple play as he's got his 50-dime winner number 10 out of 11, a play that matches last night's winner on the Rockets. And you get it for $7.77. It's his Mountain West Conference total of the year on Wyoming and Utah State. The over-under in that one. And FYI, Brad Wilton, who's done a phenomenal job with his totals over the past 8-9 months here. He's also won 6 of the past 9 days. He is a 50-dimer on the same exact total as Gabe does tonight, or Gabriel, and he's coming off a 50-dime winner last night on the Browns. As for me, it didn't quite work out the way I had planned yesterday. I gave you free winners in the NBA on Portland over Dallas and the Rockets against the Spurs. I mentioned to you that I really like the Rockets. I loved them at 4.5. I couldn't understand why the line went up to 6.5 in the midst of putting my site live and doing the video report. I saw the line move, and I thought, oh, let me just give it to you as a free pick, and instead I'll have a small 5-dime play on the Bengals. Thank you, Andy Dalton. Of course, the minute I'm done the video, I happen to look, and right before I started the video, I'm on the San Antonio News site. I'm looking at the Spurs Nation blog. I don't see anything. The minute I'm done the video, of course, I go back to the site. It refreshes the page, and I see that Duncan and Ginobili aren't playing last night. And I alluded to it in my video yesterday for you, that the thing with Greg Popovich, you never know when he's just going to pull the trigger and rest a key starter because, you know, it's good for the integrity of the game, especially for national TV games. You know, very good for the integrity of the game. And he did that last night. My problem was, and the problem that all the handicappers here face at the site, we have one hard and fast rule. I don't care if you put your site live for 1 second. The minute you hit the publish button, so the plays are available for the public, you guys out there, you can't change. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I don't care if you make a typo and you put Team A instead of Team B by mistake. I don't care. You're stuck with that play. Because there can never be any appearance of impropriety going on here. There can never be any appearance of switching sides or double-sided games. Never can have that here on the site. I would fire somebody's ass immediately. So you make a mistake, you're stuck with it. You publish a play, you're stuck with it. That's it. Of course, I'm looking at that and I'm going, who the hell made up those damn rules? Because last night, minute I saw Duncan, you could not have set the line high enough for the Rockets. How were the Rockets only 6.5-point favorites last night? Why didn't that line jump up to like 13? You knew they were going to crush the Spurs without Duncan and Ginobili in there. Jesus. So anyway, I'm undeterred. You know me, guys. I never let yesterday affect how I play today, and that's why I don't celebrate the wins, nor do I ever lament the losses. Tonight, I've got a 15-dime play. That, of course, matches the top play that I normally have in the NBA or in college basketball. It's my 15-dime bounce back NBA crusher. This is a team that's coming off a devastating, crushing loss. I think they rebound tonight, not only with the win and cover, but a double-digit blowout win as well. I'm 46-33 with these plays over the past, well, let's see, it's going on 4.5 years now. And, of course, even though I lost last night, I've still won 45 of the last 75 days, including 15 of the last 25. And I'm on a 31-13 roll with 10-dime releases over the past 10 weeks. This play is stronger. And I put it on sale. You can save $77. Normal price is $99. That means you get it for $22 by using coupon code AL22, AL22, AL22. Let me talk now about your free selections here tonight. And let's start in the college football arena. Listen, guys, anytime Temple plays, my alma mater, you should just discount anything I say about the pick, okay? Because I just never win with this damn team. I back them, I lose. I go against them, I lose. It's just an amazing thing. So when it came to handicapping this game, I had no problem. I love Memphis in this game. If you think I'm betting on that game, you are sorely mistaken. But here's a couple of reasons why. Listen, Memphis is a 7-point favorite here on the road. You know, Memphis has played so good this season. Last road game, of course, I took them laying 24 points at SMU, and they beat the hell out of the Mustangs. Now, Temple's obviously a much better team than SMU, but you're getting tremendous line value here tonight because Temple pulled off an upset of a nationally ranked team, East Carolina. last weekend at home. A 10-point dog winning that game outright 20-10. But then you delve into the box score and you see that the Pirates had over 450 total yards in offense in that game. They had almost 300 more yards of total offense in the game than the Owls did, who had like 180 some. But East Carolina, in windy, gusty, cold conditions, turned the ball over 5 times, hand-wrapped the victory for Temple. Now, Memphis comes in here. Tigers have scored at least 35 points or more in 6 of 8 games this season. They already won at Cincinnati 41-14. They beat up SMU 48-10. They played their hearts out in a 42-35 road loss to UCLA. The only game that they weren't that competitive in road action this season was a 24-3 loss in Oxford against Ole Miss. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Memphis, just 10 turnovers in 7 games this season against Division I foes. Again, East Carolina turned it over 5 times for Temple last weekend. Memphis 5-2 ATS run on the road, including 3 out of 4 this year, and it's a big revenge spot for the Tigers. Because last year, when the Memphis program, toward the end of the season, was really struggling, going through some quarterback injuries, etc., Temple came into Memphis and kicked their ass 41-21 as an 8.5-point underdog. Outgained them 534-228. I think Memphis gets its revenge here tonight. They've had a little extra prep time for this game because remember, last Friday they played at home against Tulsa. Slow start, didn't cover the 24-point spread, but they win that game 40-20. That's a Tulsa team that gave Temple a good run for its money in 3 quarters of action before eventually succumbing to the Owls in Philadelphia a little earlier this season. So I'm going to go with Memphis minus the 7 points in this one. Your other play tonight, I'm looking at the Utah Jazz as a 3 to 3.5 point home dog against Dallas. You know, last week in Dallas, Utah, playing the second of back-to-back games, just got demolished by the Mavericks, okay? Mavericks outscored them in the paint 52-28. It was an 18-point loss for Utah. Well, now the shoe is on the other foot. Last night I told you, when I gave you the Portland Trailblazers as a free pick against Dallas, the Mavericks were one of the highest scoring teams in the NBA. But they had problems in the third quarter of almost every single game this season. And last night, it came to fruition once more. I mean, there was a team, the Mavericks, that had won 3 straight games. It was a nip-and-tuck game at halftime. And then in the third quarter, they got blown out 35-18 and subsequently lost that game 108-87. Now, they have been a real good team, money-wise, in terms of covering in back-to-back games when the second part is on the road. And that's been the case for the past couple of years. But that's one of those dubious stats which, you know, you can twist and turn numbers any way you want to. What does it really mean? Because the Mavs turned over their roster this season. They're not the same team. Sean Marion's not there. Vince Carter's not there. They brought back Tyson Chandler. They got Jameer Nelson starting at point guard with Devin Harris, the number 1 guy off the bench in the backcourt. So it's a different team. And I think here, the Jazz, who are coming off a 102-100 upset of the Cavaliers as a 5.5 point home dog on Wednesday night, are an interesting play. But again, dig into the box score. You see the Cavs pulled off the upset on national TV the Jazz pulled off the upset of the Cavaliers on national TV the other night. But let's remember that in that game, the Jazz were down by 25, the Jazz weren't really playing that well, and I really look at that game more that the Cavs gave them that game. Still, all things being said, you played in Portland last night. You're the older team. And I think you got to go with the Jazz sitting here waiting for revenge. They're 2-1 at home. Their only loss coming against the Rockets. Beat the hell out of the Suns earlier this season, handing them their first loss of the season, 118-91, and took advantage of the fact that Phoenix was coming off a game the night before at home in which they upset the Spurs. So I think this is one of those situational plays that you're wise to take Utah as the home dog in revenge. That'll do it, guys. Best of luck to y'all, and I will catch you again on Saturday morning.